Some stories don't ask for your belief. They simply happen and leave you questioning the boundaries between instinct and the unknown. This is one of those stories. In the summer of 1962, a quiet man living a quiet life heard a sound no one else heard. A crash that hadn't been reported. A voice that shouldn't have reached him. And somehow he knew exactly where to go. What happened that night defies logic and ignores explanation. It is a story of fate, of inexplicable connection, of something that moved beyond time, space, and reason. This is the true and mysterious story of Howard Wheeler, and the call that only he could hear. The last call. It was a calm Sunday evening in Charlotte, North Carolina. June 10th, 1962. Howard Wheeler, a local radio broadcaster, had just wrapped up an ordinary day. He and his wife Patty had finished dinner, watched a little television, and were getting ready to go to bed. There was nothing unusual about the evening. No storms, no strange dreams, no unexpected visitors. Just silence. Howard, a man of routine and quiet faith, sat at the edge of his bed and began to pray, as he always did before sleeping. Then something happened. It wasn't a noise in the house, nor a cry from outside. It was a sensation, like a ripple through his chest, a pressure. And then, from somewhere deep inside, came the sharp, unmistakable sound of glass shattering and metal folding into itself. The sound of a car crash. He opened his eyes abruptly. He turned to his wife and said, "Patty, I heard a crash. A car. I have to go." She blinked, confused. But there was something in his voice, something final. He grabbed his keys and left the house without another word. The streets around their home were many, winding through neighborhoods like a maze. He had no map, no call, no destination, just a pull. He drove toward Park Road, turned right down a hill. Nothing. But then, a strange urgency surged through him. He spun the wheel and changed course, heading for Manford Drive, a place he rarely passed. About 200 yards in, under the dim wash of streetlights, he saw it. A single car, crumpled, twisted around a telephone pole, its headlights flickering in a ghostly rhythm. Howard pulled over and ran to the wreckage. Smoke lingered in the air. He reached the driver's side, heart pounding, and then he heard it. A voice, weak and cracked, from the mangled interior. "Help me, Hammy! Please!" The name hit him like ice water. Hammy! No one had called him that in years, except for one man. Howard tore the door open and stared at the broken figure inside. Joe Vonderbrick, his old friend, a man he hadn't seen in a very long time. He reached in, pulled Joe from the wreckage, laid him in his car, and raced to the nearest hospital. Joe was rushed into surgery. He would survive. But the mystery was just beginning. Later, at the hospital, a police officer sat across from Howard. "How did you find him?" There were no calls, no reports. Howard looked at him quietly, then said, "I didn't know where to go. I just felt it." The crash site was more than a mile and a half from his home. There was no sound anyone else could have heard, no way he could have known. And yet, he did. Was it intuition? A psychic bond? A divine whisper? To this day, no one knows. But one thing is certain. Howard Wheeler heard a call that no one else did, and he arrived in time to save a life. Some moments aren't born from reason. They come from somewhere else. And if you're still enough, quiet enough, you might just hear them too.